Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Legacy Conversations with me, your girl, Kat Marie. I hope you're doing good. I hope your day is going fine. I hope since the last time we talked that things are going great for you. I know again that this time, this season can be trying. It can be difficult, especially if you like me and you got a little allergy situation. You look in your throat every once in a while, your eyes itch a little bit. You be like trying to rub them, and battling dark circles around the eyes because you're constantly rubbing your eyes. If you're anything like me, I'm with you. I understand how you feeling and what you're going through. But regardless, I'm here to talk to you today. We need to have a conversation. We need to talk about some things. Like I told you before in the beginning, that legacy conversations are about real conversations, about real talks. It's about having conversations that we don't have a lot of, dealing with some things. I like to call it a social work conversation for the world. Whomsoever will come, let them learn. And if you follow me on Instagram, which you can at C Marie C, that's CEMARIECE on Instagram, or you can follow me at Kathy Merritt on Twitter, or I have Facebook pages. I have Catherine Merritt. I have Different Horizons. Please like, share, follow me on those platforms as well. And also, I have a podcast called Legacy Conversations with Kat Marie. I also have a blog called thelegacyconversations.net. So all of that out the way. But let's dig into something today. Let's talk about something uh, a little bit deeper. Let's dig a little deeper today. So one of my posts, a lot of times I share stuff and I put under it hashtag my instigating self. And I've also hashtag catalyst analyst. I told you from the beginning that I'm a life coach. I told you I worked as a social worker for DHS and as a minister. So I am about pushing people to their potential, pushing people out of their comfort zone. So I'm going to instigate a little bit today. I'm going to get in your face a little bit, and you can stop the video, but I'm going to do it anyway. So let's talk about, over the next 4 weeks, we're going to discuss life skills. And I must be honest with you. When I first heard about life skills back in the early 2000s, we were working with clients that were receiving benefits, and I was like, life skills? What we got to teach them life skills? What don't they know? I literally was very confused. It was one of those things that I thought was ridiculous. I honestly thought, who don't know how to do life? And it really blew me away. I thought, okay, so now we making stuff up. We making up stuff just to do. We making up stuff just to create a way to keep. I mean, I didn't understand what it was. I honestly didn't until I started seeing that life skills was not something that everybody had. As old people used to say, common sense ain't common. you know and I was like, it really isn't. And I thought it was. I thought that everybody had done or had been raised the same way I was raised, and I was sadly mistaken. I was extremely wrong. There were some things growing up that I was taught that I thought everybody was taught. For example, in school, we talked about opening up in the checking and savings account. We talked about writing checks. We talked about stocks and bonds. And no, I didn't go to a private school. I went to a neighborhood public school. So you can't say, oh, you went to private school. No, that was just average everyday school for me growing up. Now, I may have been a little bit more exposed than some people because I had a savings account. I had a bank account when I was a child because my father started a bank account for me in my name, and I had a bank account as a child. So I knew what it was to have a bank account. I knew what it was to put money in and to take money out. So I did have an understanding, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people didn't. And even as I grew up and I got in different relationships and I would meet men and they be like, I was like, well, I got to go to the gas station to cash my check. And I'm like, why? Don't you have a bank account? Oh, I can't get a bank account. Well, why can't you? Well, I was like, you paying them when if you just go to the bank and open up something as simple as a savings account with $10, you can cash your check for free. And I helped a lot of people with that because they really thought for some reason that they couldn't get a bank account. I don't know what I mean. Most of the time, it was not a valid reason. They had never had an account, so it wasn't like they had, overdrawn accounts everywhere. It's just that for some reason in their mind, they thought they couldn't open up a checking or a savings account. So these are life skills. These are things that people are lacking. Now, when I say life skills, I'm not talking about just that. I can't tell you how many times in school that we talked about decision making, critical thinking skills. See, under life skills, all of that falls into play. All of that comes into play when we talk about life skills. You got critical thinking skills, decision making, problem solving, identity, balance, self-awareness. All of these are in the way I'm going to share it with you, I consider life skills. All of these things fall into play. So over the next 4 weeks, we're going to talk about different things. We're going to talk about critical thinking. We're going to talk about decision making. We're going to talk about problem solving. We're going to talk about identity. We're going to talk about self-awareness and balance. We're going to talk about these things. Now, I'm not going to tell you we're going to get extremely deep, but we're going to talk about some things enough so that you can maybe prompt you to think about some things in your life that you should change or you should work on or you should learn how to do. And see, that's the thing that I think people miss. It doesn't matter how old you are. Once you realize you don't know something, that means you have the opportunity to learn it. I'm going to repeat it again for those who might just been walking by. Once you realize you don't know something, that means now you have the opportunity to learn it. When you realize that you don't know enough about a subject, why not learn about it? See, growing up, I used to love to go to the library, and I still think the library is one of the greatest places. I love bookstores and all those things like that because I was always taught that if you don't know something, look it up. Now, I know the days are gone where people buy encyclopedias and stuff like that, but growing up, we grew up with encyclopedias in the house. We grew up with dictionaries in our house. So if we needed to look something up, most of the time we could just go to the living room and look it up. But the library had reference books that we didn't have. So a lot of times I would go and look stuff up that we didn't have books that address that. Now everybody has the internet and they think that on the internet, everything is right. Well, I'm here to tell you everything is not on the internet. I hate to disappoint you, but everything ain't there. Some things, some books, you can't download. Some books you have to actually buy and read the hardback or the paperback. Some books would never be available unless you seek them out. Just like knowledge, some knowledge is a dangerous thing because knowing a little about a subject is just as bad as knowing not enough. So when you talk about life skills, I'm also talking about realizing what you don't know and then seeking a way to find it, seeking a way to learn it. Not to be satisfied or accept the status quo in your ignorance. Because regardless to what the saying says, ignorance is not bliss. It's blinding. It is a blinding force. You can be so ignorant to facts of what you don't know that you blind to stuff that's right there in front of your face. So we're going to talk about these life skills. We're going to deal with these life skills. See, growing up, and I don't mind, I mean, you can see my gray. I have not colored it. I'm actually thinking about not coloring my gray. And I just realized I forgot to fix my nails. But anyway, I'm thinking about not coloring my gray because you know what? I'm happy to be the age that I am because I survived. I'm still here. So when we talk about life skills, when I began at the time when life skills were introduced, when I was working for DHS in Little Rock, at that time I was meeting clients that were my age. Some were younger, some were older, and they lacked these skills. And that's what made me understand, wait a minute, everybody wasn't raised like you. Everybody don't know what you know. See, that's the assumption we make, and then you make when you assume something, what happens eventually, right? But anyway, I digress. When we start to think that everyone should know something, sometimes we can judge a person too harshly, and this is not something that they were taught. There are certain things you will never see me do because of the way I was raised, but people are doing it every day. My daughters, my sons know that there are certain things that they might do if I'm not around, but if I'm around, they better not do it because they like, Mama is not gonna play that. I will never leave the house with my hair not being combed. I will never leave the house without my face washed or my teeth brushed. I won't leave the house in a with a satin cap on. I might leave with a scarf, but that means that's part of my outfit. That was planned. I'm never gonna leave the house in house shoes because guess what, they're called house shoes for a reason. You wear them in the house. But everybody don't think like that. Everybody wasn't raised like that. Everybody's grandmama didn't tell them, don't you leave the house without some on your face, like lotion, and some on your lips, like Vaseline. Don't you leave the house without some earrings in your ear, even if they small earrings. It didn't matter if you had on a jogging suit, jeans, and a t-shirt. There was a certain way that you were that you when you presented yourself once you crossed that threshold going out the door. That's just how I was raised. So I cannot tell you that, if you see me as in a satin cap, I'm either walking to my car to walk back in the house, or I'm gonna go to bed. That means it's real late, and either you did, I don't know what you're doing around me, and I got a satin cap on. Or I just woke up. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You will not catch me walking outside in a sand cap. I don't care how cute or how trendy they try to make them. It's a bonnet for the bed. That's how I see it. But that's how I was raised. So that's how I see things. So that's how I carry myself. These are the skills that I learned in my life, so I apply them to my life. You get what I'm saying now? Now you're starting to get it. The life skill situation. If you don't have the skills to apply life, if you're not good at problem solving, if you don't have a way to make decisions, and you constantly making bad decisions, you're trying to figure out why you can't seem to get it together. Maybe you just lack decision making skills, and that's not something that you have to keep going over and over again. It's something that can be taught. Problem solving can be taught. We did math all the time, and we had to solve math problems. They were called problem solving. We had to do problem solving, and life is full of problems that you have to solve. And you can either complain it or you can solve the problem. And I don't deal well with complainers. Because what you complaining, why, if you're taking the time to complain, you could take that same amount of time and energy that you're using to complain to think about it and come up with a solution. If you're not talking about it to create a solution, then you really should be quiet. Just gonna be honest with you. Like I said, we're talking about life skills. We're dealing with life and how to make your life better. How to do life better, not just for yourself, but for your family, for your friends, for those who are around you, those who are looking at you. Because guess what, regardless of what you think or how you feel about you, somebody is watching you and thinking, oh, he or she is great, and I want to be just like them. Even if you're miserable, there's somebody that feels like your life is better than theirs. So again, over the next 4 weeks, we're gonna talk about life skills. We're going to talk about decision making. We're going to talk about problem solving, self awareness, identity, and balance. And you might be surprised about what I say when it comes to identity. You probably will be. I'm just going, you probably will be. So think about, what is it that I need? Honestly. Because one thing you're going to hear me say over and over again, until you can be honest with yourself, I'm talking about brutally honest with yourself, change is never truly going to happen in your life. Because once you're honest and you're willing to face and to deal with what you need to deal with, and change what you need to change, learn what you need to learn, let go of what you need to let go of, forget what you need to forget, forgive those you need to forgive, including yourself, you're going to remain right where you are, wondering, when is my change going to come? All right, that's enough for now. This is your girl, Kat Marie. I pray that everything I said helps you, prompts you, pokes you, provokes you, evokes something in you, irritates you enough that you come back to watch the next video to see what else I'm going to say. Maybe make you mad enough, and maybe you want to argue, but at least you're listening. Because if you're listening, that means something is going to reach you and change you. Love you with the love of Jesus. Again, this is your girl, Kat Marie. I'm just here to help you rise and thrive. And if you would like personal life coaching sessions, you can hit me up at CM Merritt at legacyconversations.net. That's my email, CM Merritt at legacyconversations.net. I'm going to put it under the video. I'm going to plug it in, and I'm going to plug in also my blog, my podcast. Again, let's rise and thrive together. Bye-bye.